Call the names. Wake the room. Wake the room. Wake the room! Louis, Rex, Pam Ray, Naomi, Afasiana, Babbler, Monarch Soul, Jojo, Gray Eyes, Fillmyeyes. Poets assemble. No masks, no manners. Say it plain, or say it broken. Monday night in the garden of enlightenment. Low light lit minds, every line got intent. Clock ticks crooked and the room turns vigilant. Quiet so loud you can hear what the tension meant. Then it slips after midnight, manners get murdered. Nice little masks get cracked by a word or a murmur. Twisted Tuesdays twist truth till it turns on its heel. Clean cut faces go strange when the dark gets real. You can feel that shift, that slick little slip when the grin stays sweet, but the eyes don't sit. Like the room grew ribs, like the walls grew ears, like the hush got hands and it's pulling you near. And the words don't rest, they press. Put a heel on the chest, leave a dent in the breath. Every line like a knock from the back of the brain. Like you came in one shape, you won't leave the same. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in your ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, Wednesday breaks, parts in the parks, ink down the spine, half halo, half hazard, both hands in the light in the yard. A seduction walks soft through the smoke, silk on the tongue with the blade in the joke. Books and bars wakes dust in the depth of the shelves. Old ghosts lean out and start naming themselves in a craft and sullen up the ache. Gets a voice, pain stands up straight and makes silence a choice. Then break on through when the devil gives way, when the mass says saint but the pulse says pray. Echoes in the dark, go hunt the fear, that thing with no name starts ringing in your ear. Say it, say it. Fill my eyes with poetry, don't water it down. Let it bite, let it bloom, let it burn through the crowd. Bad company grins like a bruise, dress smart, and rhythm and rhyme puts a boot through the heart. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, some come shattered, some come slick. Some speak honey with a blade in it. Some sound velvet, some sound wire. Some walk in low and take the room higher. Some come holy, some come liars. That's the thing! This ain't filler for the dead space, no. There's a pulse with a pen, this is blood with an echo, this is breath with a backbone, ink with the crown. Live mics, live nerves, truth laid bare in the round. This is the beautiful mess, the bruise and the bloom, the line that cuts clean and makes a little room. Late souls, wide eyes, all nerve in the dark. A room full of hearts beating hard through the dark. Wake the room, wake the room. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. nothing more. Late night poets, when the clock slips past polite, we tell the truth. L&P, we love you. Stay frosty.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fill My Eyes with Poetry with myself and IntimidusRex. I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope you all had a good week, and I hope you all have a better weekend to follow. Hello, Rex.
Hello. What's
How
up?
are you?
All righty, what's doing?
Oh, not too much. Not too much. Another crazy Friday. I'm going to ask, how was your weather today?
88
Oh, God,
and
we were
nice.
89. We were 89. Wow. How about it? Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it was pretty toasty here, but not, I guess not too horrible. We got an air conditioner, so that's a big help. Yes. I had to ask because I figured if I was 89, you were probably in the 90s. But see that? I guess you got lucky. Actually, you didn't, because you like it like that, don't you? You like
Of
it when it's
course.
cold. Yeah. Let's see. Robbie says the weather there was everything. That about sums it up. I guess it was rain, snow, sleet, hail, whole 9 yards. Jojo says it was an amazing day, warm. And Aaron says it was 59 there, but felt like 50. And yeah, he says we're overcast all day. And Tim, how about you? Yep. But yeah, it was not too terrible. So. Oh my goodness! So how was your week? Was it good?
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
couple of cold days, but not too bad.
I figured you were mad at me because you didn't call me back. Just thought I'd put that out there. It's okay. No big deal. Just saying. Ah,
No, I'm just trying to get some things.
you two are busy.
Too many
I
things.
didn't get too worried. I just, well, I got a little worried because I want to make sure you're all right. But yeah, so I'm just busting your chops. I don't worry about it. I know eventually I'll catch up with you somewhere, or I'll see you somewhere.
I guess I'm the rabbit tonight, the dog pile on it.
Two Manzano says California has wimp weather. I don't know what that means, but okay. I have to ask my brother. He's messaging me over here. Find out what his weather was. See,
Wimp
I'll check
weather.
up.
Well, that can mean one of two things. Because when it rains out there, everybody goes crazy. So there's a little wimpy in that. And well, it could mean that it was actually in the 90s and everybody's wimping out because they aren't at the beach or aren't in a pool.
Yeah, it's Friday, and everybody should have been at work. Yuck. Hot days and work. Well, that's only if they don't do the air conditioning. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, I was lucky when I worked in the office. I always had a room with my own little air conditioner. I cranked that thing up and shut my door. They'd come walking in and they'd say, "Oh, it's cold in here." Well, that's why there's two sides to my door. It's easy peasy. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, we have a nice little board of poetry tonight. I shouldn't say
I
little.
see with a few new names on it too.
I know we got some new names. We got all kinds of stuff up there. We got I think 5 SoundClouds. Let me look.
Oh, you'll be singing a lot tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. I was correct. Yes, I will. Me. Got to keep it warmed up. Yes. So before we get started, I want to let everybody know tomorrow night is the tribute show for Shamala, and we are not going to be starting at 10 p.m. The
Okay.
show is going to start at 9 p.m. and
Ah,
we're gonna try and make sure we clear the board. So if it takes us till 12, fine. If it takes us till 12:15, well, we're hanging in there. So just so everybody is aware, because it's a change of our norm, if we have anything norm. But I think that's probably the best way to handle it. So I figured I'd give everybody a heads up. Yes, yes, yes. So, yep. And in case anybody is concerned, I did empty the topic board that was in LNP because I will be replacing it with all of the pieces tomorrow. I collected everything off of the board and moved it over and into a file, and I'll be moving it back in tomorrow. So don't anybody think that I just deleted their stuff, and it's not important. It is important. But I just didn't send up a note to everybody saying, hey, I'm moving this. Hey, I'm moving this. I moved them actually a week or so ago. I just left that up in case anybody else wanted to add to it. So better safe than sorry. So anyway, I don't know. And I don't know what happened, but went to Popeyes and now he's back. He must have lost his sound or something. Hello, Aaron. Welcome back. Yes. So anyhow, we will be having some fun, I guess, tonight. So what else is exciting, Rex? Anything that anything that I'm not aware of? Oh,
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, me neither. I don't know of anything exciting either. Just tomorrow night's the show for Smallest. Sunday we have your show, which features the work of Aaron Panther. And I believe we're still looking for rights for that. So anybody who can
Yes.
or wants to, feel free. Monday we have the Garden of Enlightenment, followed by After Midnight, which is, what's your topic, Rex? You know, or is it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I know. Used to alternate, so it's all good. All good. So yeah. So I guess that sums up the whole day in a nutshell, the whole evening. And even touch a little bit on next week. I've been busy in the last 13 minutes. I don't know. So I guess I should behave myself. And maybe we should get on to the poetry. And the first piece, we have, wow. First piece I'm going to put up is called Call of the Raven by Visago. So Rex, I'm going to give that to you.
Okie dokie. Call of the Raven by Visago. They didn't come together. One landed first, quiet, watched me like he already knew. Then, what are you doing? No anger, no rush, just a question. I had nothing. Then the other came, heavier, closer, like he brought something with him. Not new, old. He didn't ask, just looked at me. You know who you are. And that was worse. They stayed long enough for me to understand the call was never theirs. And poem.
Oh, well,
There you go, Jin Jin.
oh no, hang on a second. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is a nice, not a nice. This is a good piece. I don't want to say nice because nice just doesn't carry the right tone. Interesting. They didn't come together. One landed first. Quiet. Watched me like he already knew. Then, what are you doing? No anger, no rush, just a question. I had nothing. Then the other came heavier, closer. Intriguing. You know, I'm trying to put it together. At first, I wasn't reading with you, so that's my shame on me. It's just that was worse. It stayed long enough for me to understand. It's a very very good piece. I think that there's a certain feel to it. You know, first the one raven comes, and then the second, you know, heavier and closer. And he brought something with him, not new, old. He didn't ask, just looked at me. You know who you are. I think that it's very, oh gosh, I don't know how I want to say it. Well, this was written to a prompt, ancient realm and the call of the raven. And those images showed ravens to me, and I saw them as hugging and mugging and munning. I don't know who that is, but I guess if I looked at that audio down there, or that, yeah, that audio down there, maybe I would know what it was. But I don't know. It's well written, and it really carries a certain weight to the piece. It makes you kind of, you feel that the depths of it. You know, I can't tell you that I'm 100% on top of it. You know, but I can feel it. I can sense that there's something to it, a certain weight or a depth to the words themselves. So I guess that maybe sounds silly. That's about as good as I'm going to get. So thank you for sharing Visago. Much appreciated.
No worries. Thank you, Jen. I think the ravens in this are an emblematic note of self because you hit down on it. They didn't come together. That idea of um, a separation of self, the subconscious and the conscious. The idea of one landed first. There's a thought that alights itself. That watching note, the question, "What are you doing?" is that note of what underlines the subconscious as a whole. What are you doing? And then the other one offers up that you know who you are, reality dawning in that moment. And the thought of on the back end, they stayed long enough for me to understand the call was never theirs. The idea of at that point, they had come together, a representative quality of reality dawning in one's mind. And the call was never theirs. That hits on the note of um, coming to terms with who and what you are and what you need do now because you already knew. You just hadn't made that firm decision until everything coalesced in the moment with that thought of the ravens offering it because they are the callers, the watchers. They offer up notes of omens, tidings, and even well, good and bad, but it walks that path of intelligence because ravens highly intelligent, and that note of the two is kind of like the right and the left side of the brain, as well as the subconscious and conscious, uh, becoming attuned in the moment to the point where, yes, it was never about them; it was always about you, and you understand who and what you are, and where you need to go now, and what you need to do, because of that emblematic note of the ravens itself, the sort of a calling. Yes, but the call was never theirs. They're just the reminder that you do have a calling and you know where you know where you need to go and what needs to be done now. Because everything has come together in that little light bulb above the head moment, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Um, nice. Thanks for coming, Rex. Okay, now the next piece I'm going to put up is, well, I'll tell you in a second. I gotta get myself back in order.
Say quick and brought Pringles. I see
All
Pringles on the
right,
board.
Pringles. That would be brought enough for everybody. That would be good.
Sweet and salty buttered caramel. Damn. You guys down under are getting all the tryouts. We don't get none of that up
Yeah,
here.
right, right. Mm-hmm. Ugh, sounds interesting. Take those and you dip them in chocolates, and then life is good. Okay. This next piece I'm going to put up is called Stories of Jacob Blue 6 by Jack Blue. And here we go. On the lane, a grayish twig plays the grace of motherhood for the ashy fairy's fortune. When the fierce sea of sorrow revives loud in memory's void through a primeval spark. Like a simple, humble angel, a sparrow comes to any trouble and embroiders filigree on the dress washed with ashes. Like a good old ghost in charge of fairyland's validity. In the cursed newfangled castle, a couple of witches slyly swear at their lovely mutant sister, with the drunken band of crows, even if the lilac light breaks against the plastered stage. The magic wands of algorithms flutter through the jealous screen and conduct the bluish heart to tomorrow's grief with grace, or somewhere on the lilac snow with a joyful cup of time and tone.
Great read, Gene. And this was inspired by Cinderella, Brothers Grimm fairy tale. So I think the back end of this, the last two stanzas, kind of walk a different tone because he hasn't gone this route before. That note of the magic wands of algorithms flutter through the jealous screen and conduct the bluish heart to tomorrow's grief of grace, or somewhere on the lilac snow with a joyful cup of time. And he's got that note of the witches and the mutant sister, the drunken band of crows. Uh, and breaking against the plastered stage. The back end has that note of time spent on the computer. So is that the idea? Might be the idea of how easily it is to change a storyline just by simply popping it into the computer and letting it speed its way around the world and having a different note to it. Because he offers up the first line's on the lane a grayish twig plays the grace of motherhood for the ashy fairy's fortune. When the fierce sea of sorrow revives loud in memory's void through the primaveral sparkle. Primaveral, kind of first spring sparkle. So there is a note of kind of a sense of death in that first stanza with the ashy angle. And then you get that note, the embroidered filigree on the dress awash with ashes. Again, that note of ashes. So the dress might be the thought of snow itself, ashes, the death of winter, the coming because you get some fairyland, so that it is the coming of spring, and then you get that cursed, cursed newfangled castle, which then rolls into the back end with the computer angle. So it's a different play for Jack.
Hmm, very, very true. Nice job, Rex. Nice job. Only because he says this was inspired by Cinderella do I get any notion of what I'm going to say. Um, really, because on the lane a grayish twig plays the grace of motherhood for the ashy fairy's fortune. When the fierce sea of sorrow revives loud in memory's void to primeval sparkle. It strikes me as it has something to do. Cinderella's mother died in the actual story before the story starts to take place, and I wonder if that has some kind of a lean towards that. And then this fairy, um, you know, could be the fairy godmother.
True.
May or may not be, because in the second stanza it says, like a simple, humble angel, a sparrow comes to any trouble and embroiders filigree on the dress washed with ashes. Well, in the original tale, not the original tale, probably the Disney tale, the animals came and sewed the dress and created her gown for the ball. So I see a reference to that, but I don't know if that's what he meant. I think he probably did. They embroidered the filigree on that dress awash with ashes, which would be the clothes that Cinderella wore, in her everyday, you know, cleaning routine, like a good old ghost in charge of fairyland's validity. So I think that he took the tale and made it more of a fairy story and created the thoughts throughout. And he did it nicely. You wouldn't put two and two together, and say, oh, well, this is directly about and blah blah. I mean, you really have to think a little bit into it, which is fine. And in the cursed newfangled castle, I wonder if this isn't the stepmother's house, because he speaks of the mutant sister. Well, couple which is slyly swear at their lovely mutant sister, who which I would assume is Cinderella, and the evil stepsisters and stepmother. So it's kind of interesting the way he transformed this into a different kind of poem. And yeah, I don't know about the algorithms. Don't get me going on that. I'd be like, huh? But I think it was very well done. So thank you, Jack, for sharing with us. Nice piece and clever right. Absolutely. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to have to make them short tonight. Yeah. Okay. That's there. That's there. I'll come back over to you and pick up the next piece for you. And this piece will be The Prisoner by Mike Horsfall. So whenever you are ready, right?
All righty. Prisoner by Mike Horsfall. He made and made and made a table, a fence, a life, each nail a small decision, each board a bright refusal to rest, to listen, to wait. He built his name in things, in time, the days, sawdust and sunlight, the nights, figures and ledgers. He called it provision, purpose. He called it love, duty. The world applauded his momentum, the world needed his drive, the world required his whole. So he tightened every hinge, so he torqued every screw, so he sealed each usable opening, even the window measured victories. Air counted, measured, owned. Now age slows the hand, the tools lie like old promises, rust, dust-covered memories. He sits among his completions. The room is perfectly functional, and the door is perfectly his. He tries memory as a key. It turns, but does not open. Outside, wind wastes nothing, sunlight shines on. Inside, the made things persist. He hears their quiet allegiance. They do not move aside, they do not know release. He built them to hold, and now these built bars, they hold him. End poem.
What a great piece by oh my gosh, listen by Mike. The things that we go through in life, he made and made and made the table, the fence, the life, each nail a small decision, each board a bright to rest, to listen, to wait. He built his name in things, in time. The days, sawdust and sunlight, the nights, figures and letters. He called it provision, purpose. He called it love, duty. That's wonderful. And then as time goes on, he just, as he gets older, as time ages him, and things change, now, you know, now age slows the hands, the tools lie like old promises, it just doesn't happen anymore. He tries memory as a key, it turns but does not open. And then it goes on how, where is it? Let me make sure I get to the right line to start with. He hears their quiet allegiance. They do not move aside. They do not know release. He built them to hold, and now these built bars hold him. It just, it's just a progression. And, now he can't do, and he's kind of, things, he can't change things. Things are, different now, whether it's relationships lost, people lost, now he's trapped in the life that he's built, pretty much. That's what I get from this. I mean, but it was an excellent piece and very well done and well written. So thank you, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Nice. I like that note in the first stanza. resilience, proficiency, because he hits on a couple things in the back end of that first stanza. The days, sawdust and sunlight, the nights, figures and ledgers. He called it provision, purpose. He called it love, duty. Because he also hits to rest, to listen, to wait. That note of what each piece of wood offers up in the moment tells them, because you follow certain things within the wood, within the grain itself, lines you don't want to miss, the knots you either bypass or use as a centered note to the finished angle of the piece itself. And then you hit up that note of in that second stanza kind of walks a note of someone who is well known. That note of applauded his momentum, needed his drive, required his whole. That idea of someone who is really excellent at what he produces, and it's something that gets well owned, well used, and well loved. But that third now age, yeah, and everything walks with age. I mean, especially with someone who works with their hands a lot and uses certain tools, does it the old way. You get that angle of how the knuckles swell. You can't, you don't walk the same language and tone with the wood that you once. So that becomes because he hits on the back end of that. He tries memory as a key. It turns, but does not open. That idea of trying to unlock what once he had within his palm so easily. He can turn the key. The door won't open because the hands don't work the same. This also hits on the idea of being so well inured within this angle that he's built himself a prison that now he can't get out of because
Right.
he's sad with the fact that he can no longer do what he loves. I spent a lifetime being proficient at and producing beautiful pieces, and that gnaws at the intellect, and he kind of beats on himself that he can no longer adore that which speaks to him from the wood itself. So the idea of the prism bites at that note, and the bars bites at that note of the functionality being lost within the body, but the mind hasn't gotten to that point yet. The prison holds himself to that note of you've made your own angle on this because you didn't have a second thought. What could you do? What would you do if you no longer had your hands? So he's kind of locked himself into a mental prison that is hard to get out of. Kind of like a cliff edge
Right.
one walks to. Where do I go now? What do I do?
Right. Excuse
Pepper?
me. No. No pepper. No pepper.
We'll break out the Bombay and have some sapphires.
Oh no, not an advisable move. Oh my goodness. Well, the next piece that I'm going to put up, okay, is called Vision of Dreams by Lockdown Monks. And let me hit the pin.
Nice pick.
Even without the warmth of the wise, there will be a radiance unseen, a serenity where only truth flies in the space and time of the in-between. Do not be afraid of the forever. Holding on is your endeavor. A feeling of hope will come to you before a calling beyond life's streams. Eyes will open, from the mountains. The weary will lay their burdens aside and shall drink from life-giving fountains. Do not be afraid of the forever. To hold on is your endeavor. A feeling of hope will come to you before the calling beyond the life streams. Eyes will open, your heart will renew, all guided by the vision of dreams. Nurturing the sounds of tomorrow, teaching them to carry their weight, becoming one they can banish sorrow and find harmony beyond the garden gate. So do not be afraid of the forever. To hold on is your endeavor. Your heart will open to life streams, all guided by the vision of dreams. Now tend to the trees and flowers, care for the oceans and streams, and trust that the unseen powers will guide you through the vision of dreams.
Nicely done, Lawrence. Thank you for the SoundCloud. Very much appreciated. Great voice there, Janie.
Why, thank you. I practiced all day. Oh, right.
Yes, I heard the fact that you gargled with the vinegar and honey. It did your throat quite well.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It helped me right out. That little bit of a cough was just me trying to clear my throat. That's all it was. But I have to say, I thought this was a well done piece by Larks, and a great tale was told throughout the piece in its own way. And I thought it was a nice take on the Tolkien angle, because originally this was written for a contest about the Silmarillion, Volume 7. I don't know what else it says. The Varda. Now, I'm not that familiar with the Silmarillion. To me, it reads like the Bible of the whole slew of characters in The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and all that. So I can't say I know that, but it did have this nice kind of feel about it that I could kind of fit it in to the Tolkien thoughts. And I picked it up here. Even in darkness, some light will abide, though mist will fall from the mountains. The weary will lay their burdens aside and shall drink from the life-giving fountains. Do not be afraid of the forever. To hold on is your endeavor. A feeling of hope will come to you for the calling beyond life's streams. Eyes will open, your heart will renew, all guided by the vision of dreams. Yeah, I thought this was just a nice piece. I liked the audio. I thought it was very enjoyable. And well done. So thank you so much, Larks. Appreciate it. Nice job.
Nice. Yeah, it did have a nice gentle note to it. You could kind of fit it in with one of those movies where you've got a nice even note that's not warring, that's not questing, that's just kind of a simple background note to the reality of what's going on in the moment without getting into the hard angle of things. This kind of hope and vision of what might be and how things will progress. As long as you keep everything on a straight and narrow path. And like I said, do not be afraid of the forever. Holding on is your endeavor. A feeling of hope will come to you before calling beyond life's streams. Eyes will open, your heart will renew, all guided by the vision of dreams. You keep that idea of who and what you are within heart, so you don't lose it. And then again, you don't want to be afraid of it either, because it is part and parcel of who and what you are, and what is part and parcel of your arena, your space, so to speak. So
Right.
nice, Larks.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, the next piece I'm going to put up is a piece by Jody Mountain. And if I can find the button I'm supposed to hit, that's not the one. This is the one. Haha, you can't even see when I hit the wrong ones. This is called Funeral for Tomorrow by Jody Mountain. And give me a second. And let me put that up for you. Okay, Rex, whenever you're ready.
All righty. Funeral for Tomorrow by Jody Milton. In the hush of breaking dawn, we gather for tomorrow's funeral. No breath of promise left unspent, no sun rehearsing its return. We carry clocks like empty coffins, they're ticking now a memory. The streets wear black, draped in yesterday's unfinished sentences, and hopes arrive late, like a mourner who forgot the address. We lay tomorrow down gently, as if it were already gone. No future hums beneath the skin, no horizon answers our call. Only silence dressed in memory walks the aisle of what could be. The pasture of time reads names we never learned to keep, each vow undone, each dream lowered into the earth of what might have been. We scatter yesterday's petals across the cold altar of now, and the mourners are all versions of ourselves we failed to become. No hymn is sung for what never arrived, only for what dissolved. We close the casket on tomorrow, but it keeps breathing in us, so we bow our heads to absence, to the sacredness of not yet. And their eulogies are written in the language of almost. We remember futures like photographs never developed in light. Tomorrow lies still, a body we never learned to wake. Funeral bells ring softly in the chambers of decision delayed. We leave in silence, carrying the weight of what was never lived. Tomorrow, we loved you from a distance you never crossed. Still we mourn your arrival, though you never came. You are the unspoken promise folded into every dawn. We carry your absence like flowers to a closed grave. Even now, time stands at attention for a name it cannot call. So we speak softly to tomorrow, as if it might still hear us. Rest now, unborn day. Rest in the quiet we could not give. Tomorrow ends here, in silence. And poem.
Great read, Rex. What a great piece. You know, because tomorrow never does come, because when it gets here, it's always today. You know what I mean? We're all talking about tomorrow,
Yeah,
but it never really happens. There's so many stanzas in this that I really did like. I had a whole section picked out, and then I said, wait a minute, I like this better. So then I moved it down. Now it's just too long. But we scatter yesterday's petals across the altar of now. And then and the mourners are all versions of ourselves we failed to become. No hymn is sung for what never arrived, only for what dissolved. We close the casket on tomorrow, but it keeps breathing in us. So we bow our heads to absence, to the sacredness of do not yet. And the eulogies are written in the language of almost. We remember futures like photographs, never developed in light. Tomorrow lies still, a body we never learned to wake. Funeral bells ring softly in the chambers of decision delayed. We leave in silence, carrying the weight of what was never lived. Tomorrow we loved you from a distance, you never crossed. Still, we mourn your arrival, though you never came. There's just so much of this, and I think it was so very well said. Um, Jody has quite a way with a lot of his pieces where he can kind of take this thought and just carry it, you know. And he did a fine job with this. And thank you for sharing with us. really well done.
Nice. Yeah, that last line is quite the ending. Tomorrow ends here in silence. That had me thinking of the world does not end with a bang. It ends with a whimper. That note of silence being, but everything else hits on that idea of promise, the hope, the dreams that once were lauded and rolled out, yet for some reason bypassed, left in the dust. It also hits on the idea of things we put off until tomorrow because there is always a tomorrow. Yet, before we know it, 10 years has gone by and tomorrow was always just one day away. Yet, it's it's 10 years past the prime of what could have been in the moment. Those promises of where we were supposed to be, what we are supposed to do, the dreams that got put aside for one reason or another because something came along that needed to be tended to. And before you know it, they all become eulogies for the things that we promised ourselves that we never got down to, never accomplished, never even came back to for a second look. So, and carrying the weight of what was never lived, it's on the regrets we also bear with us, and still we mourn your arrival, though you never came. You are the unspoken promises folded into every dawn. We carry your absence like flowers to a closed grave. Even now, time stands at attention for a name it cannot call. That definitely bites at that notion of regret. And then, so we speak softly to tomorrow, as if it might still hear us. Rest now, unborn day. Rest in the quiet we could not hear. Oof. Nice, Jody. I like that.
Nice job. Okay. Well, this next piece I'm going to put up is called "Don't Do It" by Aaron Payne.
But you already done it, haven't you?
I probably have, but I don't want to tell any lies. So let me hit the button.
You got that packed bag silence, keys on the table, trembling hand. You say it's not you, it's timing, and stare a hole through the ceiling fan. You trace the dent in the drywall from some old fight that we outgrew. You laugh like none of it matters, but your eyes say you're leaving soon. Don't walk away from what we've lived through. I'm stupid, but I still believe in me and you. We're hanging by a thread, yeah, I know it, but it still feels right when you hold me close and pull me in. Don't do it. You fold my worn out t-shirts like you're erasing what you wore. You say you're tired of the reruns of every promise on this floor. But remember late night drive-thrus, laughing till the sun broke through. If all that hell made something, why burn down what we crawled into? Don't do it. Don't walk away from what we bled through. I'm stupid, but I still believe in me and you. We're hanging by a thread, yeah, I know it, but it still feels right when you hold me close and pull me in. Don't do it, I don't
Nicely done, Aaron. Thank you very much for the SoundCloud. Very much appreciated. All right, Jeannie.
Well, and I really like the piece. I like both verses. Uh, I picked up the second one because I can only, I can't copy and paste the whole thing. People talk about me enough, but you fold my worn out T-shirts like you're erasing what you wore. You say you're tired of the reruns of every promise on this floor. But remember late night drive-throughs laughing till the sun broke through. If all that hell made something, why burn down what we bought into? Don't do it. Don't walk away from what we bled through. I'm stupid, but I still believe in me and you. We're hanging by a thread. Yeah, I know it, but it still feels right when you hold me close to me and don't do it. Don't do it. That bridge, I like the bridge too. If you go, there's no rewind. Just ghosts in every room. But if you stay, we'll take our time. We'll learn a different truth. I'll meet you in the mess we made, both hands up, both feet in. Say the word and I'll let change crash over my skin. I think it was really well done. I have to say it was very Creedish. Sounded like Creed to me in my head.
Huh.
So,
I went another way, Cobain,
oh, there you go. There you go. I don't know.
especially with that note of I'm stupid, but I still believe in me and you. We're hanging by a thread. Yeah, I know it, but it still feels right when you hold me close and pull me in. Don't do it. Uh, and the voice kind of had me that thinking of Nirvana. So
Right, right.
I
Okay,
like
so
it. And that thought about if you go, there's no rewind, just ghosts in every room. But if you stay, we'll take our time. We'll learn a different truth. I'll meet you in the mess we made, both hands up, both feet in. Say the word, and I'll let change crash over my skin. Ooh.
mm,
Then there's a note of confession of, hey, I'm still here, and you still matter despite the thought of, hey, you got that packed bag silence to open up the first verse with keys on the table, trembling hand. You say it's not you, it's timing. Ooh, that is a cold note of finality in that,
right.
and then everything pouring out. That note of don't do it. We can make it work. Just give us a chance or half a chance. Nice,
Very good. Nice
good
comments.
voice on that one, Janie.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried. It's hard for me to get the highs and the lows of this it's a rough on me. Ah, God. And on that note, I'm coming back to you again, Rex. All the guys have their pieces up front. I think there's like 3 or 4 women's pieces towards the end, so I saw it. Try not to miss them. Okay. So this next piece is called Defeat by T. Manzano.
Defeat.
Defeat.
Ah, okay.
Not the feet. Defeat.
Yeah, I was saying defeat. You're talking about feet or defeat. Defeat by T. Manzano. I have sat across from it, people running on something they had to reach deep for, a reserve system kicking on in the dark just long enough to hold a conversation they didn't have the energy to finish. The head, a little heavier than yesterday, getting up, a negotiation with something I didn't want to. I'm good. How are you? Things are fine. Hanging in there. Nice weather today. The least that would satisfy. Enough to make you think it was conversation, and then later, almost by accident, the way something slips when you've been holding it too long. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. Not asking, not warning, just leaving it somewhere like a coat they weren't taking with them. By then, everything costs something. A sentence, a breath, showing up for whoever still needed them to. They weren't waiting to be saved. They were waiting for it to happen by itself. The long, slow sitting in rooms for however long it takes until you can't take that anymore. And then one day, the effort of pretending costs more than the effort of not. End poem. Well, it's
Nice
kind of
one.
a fitting note to follow up on Aaron's piece. Damn.
Yeah, go figure, right? Sometimes it just
There you
works
go.
that way on Fridays, isn't it? It's the way it happens. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this was a great piece. I mean, I think we've all been in that situation. You know, let me see where I want to go here. Getting up a negotiation with something that didn't want to. I'm good. How are you? Things are fine. Hanging in there. Nice weather today. Sounds like me. The least it would satisfy, enough to make you think it was conversation, and then later, almost by accident, the way something slips. When you've been holding it in too long. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. I think the piece was very well done. You know, there's a lot of relatability throughout. I mean, I think we all have felt this way from time to time, or that way from time to time. You know? So I think the whole piece is really, as I said, relatable. You know, but a great piece, Tim. Really, really nicely done. You know, I don't know, but I want to go to the end as well, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I could quote more and more and more. You know, I'm so great at that. But I think it was great from beginning to end. So nice job, and thanks again for sharing. Welcome.
Nice. Thank you, Gene. Boy, yeah, defeat does kind of roll a note through this whole thing, but it kind of got it separated in sections so you can walk a nice slow run through it and feel what's going on in the moment, especially that thought of what was it, about a third of the way down. I'm good. How are you? Things are fine. Hanging in there. Nice weather today. The least that was satisfied. You get that note of damn. Uh, of all that's going on in the moment, the fact that they barely speak to each other, and things are walking down a narrow alley in the darkness, and it ain't a happy place. And then the idea, enough to make you think it was conversation, and then later, almost by accident, the way something slips when you've been holding it too long. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. There's a, a final note, and that does hit on the idea of defeat in the moment. I can't do this anymore. Not asking, not warning, just leaving it somewhere like a coat they weren't taking with them. Oof. It's kind of sloughing off that what has been ailing in the moment and just kind of leaving it on the floor like a wet rag. Um, and then no, they weren't waiting to be saved. They were waiting for it to happen by itself. The long, slow sitting in rooms for however long it takes until you can't take that anymore. And then one day the effort of pretending costs more than the effort of not. That final stanza kind of walks right itself back to the top. And I was up that finishing note, that final angle, when both hit on the idea. Maybe it isn't really defeat, although it kind of does walk that tone all the way through, but it's the note of reality dawning. Hey, you know what? It ain't working. I can't do this anymore, and neither can you. So the idea of pretending is, in specificity, it costs more than actually being kind in the moment with those little short lines of "I'm good. How are you? Things are fine. Hanging in there. Nice weather today." The idea of you just don't have the energy to put in anymore any longer, and well, it's like that breakfast table that you always sit at in the morning. You get coffee or tea or whatever, and yet nothing is really said in the moment because there's nothing more to say because they've kind of outlived each other, outgrown each other, and outcared for each other as well. Damn. Nicely done, Tim. Thank you.
Almost put that in the wrong spot.
I'm gonna
Right?
leave that one alone.
Behave. Behave. Uh, Gray, you want me to pick you up?
Wow. Go from that to that?
That's right. You went from that to that. I did not.
Oh, that was too easy.
I hate to not just bring him on stage, but I don't know if he wants to. Okay. Oh wait, I have a message. You got it. Okay, here comes Gray.
And there you
Hi,
go, right
Gray.
into that one as well.
Hi, Gray.
Uh, what was it? I put that in the wrong spot. Can I bring you in, Gray? And well, been into that one.
Hi, Gray. You're on mute, Gray. Just so you know. Oh my God.
Sorry, I was saying hi, Phil, hi, Rex, and all that jazz. And unmute into the nether, the ether.
Yes, the ether.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Okay. You hear I'm getting all picked on, Gray. You're just in time to save me. And you better not gang up
I
on
know
me.
that.
Is that why you
Well,
called?
that seems to be the case with Rex. You know, he's the
I know.
antagonizer.
I
Or the
Well,
know.
that was
antagonist, I guess.
Aaron offered up a good one. When the horse jumps over the fence, the feet go before the tail. Oh
Well,
my
I like
God.
to think that Gray called in to be my knight in shining armor and rescue me from all the abuse. But I'm
Right?
not.
Yeah, you guys stop picking on Phil. Really.
Thank you, Gray. Yeah. See? Oh, thank you, Gray. I feel much better now. Oh, okay. Well, the next piece that I'm going to put up is called Pain for Pain, Eye for an Eye by Pam Ray. And I have an audio for that.
Damn, you're getting a workout with the voice.
I know. I'm counting. What is that? Oh, there it is. I found it. Here we go.
I grew tired of the games you played. Your words no longer have any sway. Too many times I spent in the dark. I will no longer bear your mark. I've become a living life, treading all the ropes of strife. Some might label me insane, but I will return pain for pain. Pain for pain, and life for an eye. I almost let my spirit die. A spirit held in your cruel hands. I risen now from shattered pain for You thought you'd always pull my strings, a puppet master who clipped my wings. But eventually my wings grew back. I found my fangs, I planned my attack. I no longer dance within your cage. I found my strength, I found rage. My mind is growing sharp as a tack. I found the words you told me I lacked. Pain for pain, and life for an eye. I almost let my spirit die. A spirit held in your cruel hands. Arisen now from shattered pain for Now I'm made of fire north. I no longer grovel on your floor. I have become the lioness, tearing apart your deceitfulness. I've risen now from shattered lands. I have learned to take a stand. I've risen now from from the ropes of strife. I am formed into a mountain goddess, in control of death and life. I will no longer bow and cower. I've risen now and found my power. I've risen now.
Nicely done, Pam. And see, you dipped into Suno as well. Excellent. Thank you for the SoundCloud. Very much appreciate. All right, Gray, what do you think?
Off mute.
You know, I wanted to go to AI and have them have a lioness escape from a parrot that's in a cage. You know, like just rip the cage apart as it emerges from the parrot. You know, because that's what I got out of it. You know, you've got somebody who's been caged, whose life is in somebody's hands, to this wild and free beast that's going to rip you apart if you mess with them. I thought it was a really fantastic write, and the song was epic as well.
Nice. Thank you, Gray. Gingini.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Pam did a great job with this. Strong stanzas all the way through, and a great audio to top it off. You thought you'd always pull my strings, puppet master who clipped my wings, but eventually my wings grew back. I found my fangs and planned my attack. I no longer dance within your cage. I found my strength. I found rage. My mind is growing sharp as attack. I found the words you told me I lacked. Then she goes into her chorus: pain for pain, eye for an eye. I almost let my spirit die. A spirit held in your cruel hands. I've risen now from shattered lands. Yeah, this is a great piece. Very well done. I kind of want to say Pat Benatar in the back of my head on this one. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's my conclusion.
Yeah, it was kind of a
I
little
just
darker
wanted to
than
say quickly that Pam has a
Sure.
beautiful voice.
Yes, she does.
Her singing voice is epic. So beautiful job, Pam.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See that? Gray took that away from you, Gingini.
I saw that. That's okay. Whatever. That's okay. He stood up for me in the beginning. It's fine now. Everything is
Yeah,
fine.
I kind of hit on that same stanza. You said the one with the puppet master. Just kind of walks
Yeah.
on that note of the birth of the mistress of the dungeon. And from here,
Yes.
it's all bets off. I'm running
Yeah.
amok.
That's right. Our girl has. That's it. And out came the whips and chains. Oh my gosh.
You sounded that with a bit of glee in your voice.
I did who?
You said that with a bit of glee in your voice. The whips and chains.
Well, that's our girl Pink. Good night, Jojo. Let's see now. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm coming to Gray. That's what I'm doing. Okay, Gray, you're going to be up next. I keep losing track of who's where. Okay, I think I got enough of a handle on it. This piece is called, I guess I'll put it in here now. Cinematic Dream by Mike Horsfall. And whenever you're ready, Gray.
Alrighty, so let me get to the poem here. Cinematic Dream by Mike Horsfall. Life is not easy. No yellow brick road or matrix created by some dark code. The sum of all fears. Dreams on Elm Street. Jason and Michael, a Halloween treat. Escape from prison. Follow Schindler's List. Down 8 Mile to listen to Dis. Maybe get shorty like a dark John Wick. Equalizer. Rambo, you take your pick. Chaos and madness could be the Joker. Casino Royale for hard games of poker. Skies are falling, not the right time to die. Guns and fingers, all seen through a golden eye. Glamorized violence, fast, furious put, X-rated views with eyes wide shut. Leave on intergalactic travel in space. Senna, Ford, and Ferrari to follow a race. Romance and love, actually one day, kept in a notebook. A vow to say, Green Mile, angels from Charlie's show, aliens and predators, a malevolent crow. Gary, friends, pottering in the dark arts, stars forever warring in 7 parts. Stories that follow turmoil and anguish, or subtitled views in a foreign language. Storytellers, filmmakers, muses, or bards planned out escapes on many story cards. Directors produce, they sell you the scheme, so easy to get lost in a cinematic dream. End poem.
Nice. Great read there. Great. Thank you very much. All right, Jen Janey. This one's loaded, but you got to take yourself off of mute.
Yes, but it wasn't loaded for me. This is the one I said to you had a challenge included. Let me see. If I can find it. You can have this one as one of my oldest and early rhyming poems. I think Rex might get a kick. Rex might get a kick. He can have a guess in how many films it references. I posted the above.
Oh boy, there's quite a bit.
He told me how many. So, but yeah, I think he did a great job with this. I think he intermingled the film titles wonderfully and really made everything so cohesive. Um, you know, it was a clever piece. I don't know if I could have come up with that many titles and then made them make sense. So, what can I say? But I thought this was a great piece, and thanks for sharing with us, Mike. I really appreciate it. Well done.
Nice. Thank you, Genie. Great, you got to read it. How about you?
Yeah,
You
I
got
like it. It speaks to how we're all, you know, our lives revolve around um, the cinema. Honestly, really. I mean, you can probably remember the first movie you watched to the last movie you watched, just because they're so indelible and um, just ingrained in our human psyche. To reverentiate the presence of these things in our world. You know, I mean, as a kid, I remember Jaws and I remember The Fog and all these scary movies that I shouldn't have been watching at my age, but you can't help but do what you're not supposed to as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I really liked it. I like the whole use of the movie titles throughout the right. So beautifully done.
Absolutely. He did carry quite a bit. Damn. You got one of the early ones, The Yellow Brick Road, Matrix, Some of All Fears, Dreams on Elm Street, uh, Halloween. Damn. Escape from a Prison. I'd kind of walk on the Escape from Alcatraz or Escape from New York. Schindler's List, 8 Mile, Get Shorty, John Wick, Equalizer, Rambo. Uh, I like the note he dropped in a bunch of thoughts with the idea of you got Batman with the Joker, and you got Casino Royale, you got Skyfall, No Time to Die, and Goldeneye in that one stanza, and you got Fast and Furious, nice, Eyes Wide Shut. What else we got here? Green Mile, Charlie's Angels, Alien, Predator, The Crow with what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Harry and all the Potter movies. Nice touch there. Star Wars, cool. What else we got? Oh, the back end. Storytellers, filmmakers, music bars planned out escapes on many story cards. Directors, producers, they say the scheme so easy to get lost in a cinematic dream. Yeah, and he kind of hits on the idea of uh, the original thought was to offer up that idea of an escape from the reality of how hard a life could be. Uh, but then kind of you dip into the idea, all of a sudden they become more than just the idea of a story being produced and sold as something for pure enjoyment. Now it's become that idea of what and how much can they stuff into all those storyboards to influence the public one way or another with something or else. Especially with the fact that hell, I don't know, I've forgotten how far the Halloween angle has gotten up to, but it's like 8, 9, 10,
A
13,
lot.
15, 20. The
A
same thing
lot.
with Dreams, Nightmares on Elm Street,
Yeah.
and well, even the Fast and Furious has gone up 10. So by the time it gets derivative on a note when you keep doing the same thought and trying to push a new theme through it, but you don't really capture the essence of the first one or even the second one, except for some. I mean, John Wick kind of rolls that very same note of who and what he is and what he deals with, and the idea of the Bond movies was is always the same. You got the classic supervillain and the notes of how this one guy always gets the girls and always gets the monster behind the scenes. But
Hmm.
it doesn't walk the very same tone as say Fast or Furious.
Right.
So that was quite a load in there, Mike. Thank you.
Packed full of goodies. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, oh, okay. I'm all good now. I'm all good. Okay, I got to clear my throat. Okay. This next piece I'm going to put up is called Mistaken by Glory Paul. And here we go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did, for this serious, sad, and silly mistake. To you, my beloved, I admit that. I'm an ungrateful dog. I didn't plan this to happen, but then who's to be blamed on this? Obviously, it's me. And now I'm here, regretting my miserable mistakes. Please forgive me. My consciousness still haunts me day to day because of my ungratefulness and my pride. And now I'm ending up badly, with no benefit at all because of my wrongdoings. At this foolish age of mine, I threw away the fact that you gave birth to me, you raised me, you treated me like your princess. But all in all, please forgive me. But now I promise you I'm not going to repeat this because I let you down once. Now it's time to correct my dirtiness. I show how sorry I am, to show how sorry I am, to you, my beloved. End poem.
Great read, Gingy. Thank you. Gray, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, well, I think that this is a fine, fine tribute to a mom from a daughter. You know, they go through hell together, and sometimes you make mistakes along the way. Is that better for your errand, you bastard? Anyway,
Oh, damn, that was funny.
Oh my god.
well,
Oh my god. I was like,
yeah.
what the hell has gotten into Gray? I hope he hasn't seen my face.
Oh.
Sitting here saying, what
Well,
is
Aaron says I have a rural sounding accent, you know.
oh
So I
my
thought I'd give him a bit of that.
Well, you got a kick out of
god.
Yeah.
Oh,
But no, I mean, um, it's a beautiful thing to be able to admit to your mistakes and beg forgiveness. I mean, so many people are just so steadfast in, I didn't do anything wrong, I'm not going to admit to any mistakes. I don't make mistakes. So, go fuck you. And, so many people, oh,
he's
sorry
the
about my
best.
language, but, I did. It is late, though. But anyway, uh, you know, so many people are just so um, self-centered and rude to their family and their parents and people that they've wronged, and they see no reason to apologize for anything that they've done. So I thought this was wonderful in that aspect. So beautifully done. A great read as well, Phil.
Excellent. Nice, Gray. Thank you. All right, Genie.
Well, I thought this was a nicely penned apologetic piece. It was well expressed. And I think that there's, a lot of, there's a lot going on in it. I admit that I'm an ungrateful dog. I didn't plan this to happen, but then who's to be blamed on this? Obviously, it's me. And now I'm here, regretting my miserable mistakes. Please forgive me. My consciousness still haunts me day to day. Yeah, I think that, it was nicely done. So thank you for sharing with us tonight. Much appreciated, Glory Paul.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go with what Gray said. I can't top that, and it was funny as hell to start with, just for the fact that you were rolling on errands, but you hit on every note in this. And the only thing that threw me on this was that note. I'm an ungrateful dog. That's usually a male reference, not one a woman offers up as, yeah, I'm an ungrateful dog. But it fits the fact that you're offering up this note of conciliatory angle to who and what you once were, and now you're trying to leave that all behind and mend the fences that you once trashed. So
Right.
I like that note. And cheers, Gray. That was a wonderful opening and comment.
Well,
That was
Thank you so
funny as
much.
hell. Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you had to see my face because I wasn't reading the chat. I wasn't looking there. I was like all over reading the phone, right? And all of a sudden, Greg comes out with this.
I know. I thought we had somebody else in there for a minute. I said, what the
And
hell?
I'm
That don't sound like Gray.
going, what has happened in here? Gray has flipped his wig. Oh my God. So, well, I'm so glad that I found out that it was all Aaron's fault. Ah, yes, I
Yeah,
Oh God.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
picking
Yeah.
on me, Aaron.
How's everybody always picking on me, Charlie Brown?
Oh my God.
Oh God. Yeah, that's okay. Y'all keep me on my toes. I never know what the hell I'm supposed to do next. Okay, so here we go. This next piece is called "Don't Gaslight Me" by Quickens Music.
Ooh.
So, me. Just in. Okay, so let me go and hit the button.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let the record show. I woke up saying sorry before I knew the charge. Truth in both hands like contraband in the dark. You called it confusion, you called it my tone. You made me live inside doubt I didn't own. I checked the walls like the room might speak, like maybe the ceiling saw what you suppressed. You stayed so calm while I came undone, like my shaking hands meant you must have won. You moved one word and the flow went missing, changed one date and the blame went with it. I kept saying wait, that ain't what happened, but your voice stayed clean while my chest started cracking. Soft face, cold script, clean little lie. Watch me lose sleep while you slept just fine. By the time I found air, you had framed every question, made my memory look like a signed confession. No cross, no stand, no oath, no witness, just your calm voice in a room full of distance. No facts, no proof, no pause, no grace, just me asking my own mind, which one of us lied? Don't gaslight me, I was in that room. Don't call me crazy for telling the truth. I almost said sorry for what you put me through. My memory's not your alibi, my shaking voice doesn't make it a lie. I was there when it broke. Don't gaslight me, I'm not what you wrote. You look so sure while I second guess breathing. I searched for proof while you practiced leaving. You made my hurt look loud on purpose, made your silence look clean and certain. I held the whole thread and still felt convicted. Had every date and still almost believed it. You changed the story one small cut at a time, then called me unstable for counting the knives. I brought receipts, you asked why I kept them. I showed you the wound, you questioned the weapon. You corrected my tone, corrected my pain, corrected the way I remember my name. crime when the lie wears a suit and the truth starts crying. I chase what was real through the smoke you supplied, and blame myself for the fire you denied. No cross, no stand, no oath, no witness, just your calm voice in a room full of distance. No facts, no proof, no pause, no grace, but I still learn to trust my own faith. Don't gaslight me, I was in that room. Don't call me crazy for telling the truth. I almost said sorry for what you put me through. My memory's not your alibi, my shaking voice doesn't make it a lie. I was there, I was there, I was there, I was there when it broke. Don't gaslight me, I'm not what you wrote. Look, I didn't need you to bleed for me. I didn't need the world to see what I see. I needed one honest sentence with nobody watching. I needed you to stop making my mind the hostage. I had the messages, I had the dates, I had the holes in the story. You prayed I wouldn't trace every version you changed, every detail you denied, every pause you called proof, every tear you weaponized. I stopped asking the mirror to testify. I stopped letting you come make my truth look like a crime. Tonight I believe myself. Don't gaslight me, don't gaslight. I was in that room, I was in that room. Don't call me crazy for telling the truth. I almost said sorry for what you put me through. My memory's not your alibi, my shaking voice doesn't make it a lie. You don't get to name my wound, you don't get to rewrite the rules. I know what happened, I know what you did. I won't lose myself so your lie can live. I was there, I was there, oh, I was there, I was there when it broke. Don't gaslight me, I'm not what you wrote. This came from the damage, this came from the doubt, this came from a man who had to dig himself out. And unfortunately, the motion passed unanimously.
Woohoo! Wonderfully done there, Quicken. Thank you with SoundCloud. Very much appreciated. Gingini. But you gotta unmute first.
It's best I was muted because I was giving you hell about it. Just saying.
Oh, all right.
I know. Well, I was just giving you hell because you came to me first. I said, I have 5 million lines to copy and paste, and you come to me first. And then you said I was unmute. I needed to unmute, and I just.
Well, I can't help that.
I know.
There are plenty of great lines in this, but damn.
There is, like, the whole thing, just the total piece is very well done.
Yeah, it's a long piece, but you can't take anything out because then it kind of
Right.
diminishes the storyline itself.
Exactly. I thought this was just an excellent piece penned by Q. Amazing as always. You know, I love the sound of it. You know, and the lines. People were like, grab some at the top, and then I wanted some at the bottom, and I'm like, but what about those ones in the middle? It's terrible, but I picked it up here. Soft face, cold script, clean little lie. Watch me lose sleep while you slept just fine. By the time I found air, you had framed every question, made my memory look like a signed confession. No cross, no stand, no oath, no witness, just your calm voice in a room full of distance. No facts, no proof, no pause, no grace. Just me asking my own mind which one of us lied. Don't gaslight me, I was in that room. Don't call me crazy for telling the truth. I almost said sorry for what you put me through. My memory is not your alibi, and my shaking voice doesn't make it a lie. And I mean, like I say, I could have picked up so many more, but I just thought it was excellent. And you know, what can I say? Well done, and thank you for sharing with us tonight. Q, big Q.
Nice. Thank you, Gingini. And Gray, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, not only is the poem really powerful, but also the the song. Wow, it was delivered. I mean, he's got an amazing voice. But the whole thing is really excellent. I mean, I've never lived with a gaslighter, but I do know people who have been gaslighters that I've come across in my life, and you can see it, you can watch it, and it's just a sickening thing to watch somebody be gaslighted. Um, there's no excuse for gaslighting. Nobody needs that kind of ego stroke that they've got control over somebody with just mere manipulation of words and lies. Like, even though I was there, I witnessed the whole thing. No, you weren't. You didn't. So carry on. But I don't know. I thought it was really impactful and fantastic. Right and song. It's a nice job. Wicked, quicken.
Yeah, that note of gaslighting, it runs right through this. So does he drops in a ton of manipulation, revisionistic history. I mean, look, I didn't need you to bleed for me. I didn't need the world to see what I see. I needed one honest sentence with nobody watching. I needed you to stop making my mind the hostage. I had the messages. I had the dates. I had the holes in the story. You prayed I wouldn't trace. Ooh, so I'm going to, and then you get that every version you changed, every detail you denied, every pause you called proof, every tear you weaponized. I stopped asking the mirror to testify. I stopped letting your calm make my truth look like a crime. That note right there walks on that idea of she be the first one telling everyone her side, so that all of a sudden you've got no side and you're questioning everything because he leads off with that note of where I woke up saying sorry before I knew the charge, truth in both hands like contraband in the dark. You called it confusion, you called it my tone, you made me live inside doubt I didn't own. Oof. So, yeah, there are some people who are really gifted at twisting the point where you're always wrong and they're always right. And it leaves you questioning the point of uh, what you were bringing up to begin with and what you know and understand to the point where you get driven around the bend with the thought of, am I that crazy?
Yeah.
Until you get to the point where, shit, no. So you get to that, don't gaslight me. I was in that room. Don't call me crazy for telling the truth. I almost said sorry for what you put me through. My memory's not your alibi. My shaking voice doesn't make it a lie. And that's that angle. The shaking voice kind of throws them a bone, that extra middle ground to lace into the storylines. See, that shaking voice says it all. He's lying.
Yeah.
Damn. And like I said, you take out part of any part of this, and it doesn't leave that tone, that empiric note of defiance that you need to run through the whole thing to make it stand as a hell of a piece.
Right.
So cheers, Quicken. That was actually, and I like the fact you did this a little differently. You started off with a note of light. Wow, and then you rolled heavy into the spots that you wanted, and even went down to a thought of just speaking. No cross, no stand, no oath, no witness, just your calm voice and room full of distance. No facts, no proof, no pause, no grace. Just me asking my own mind which one of us lied. Oof. Cheers, mate. That was wonderfully put together.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Ah, yeah. Okay. The next piece I'm going to put up is called The Blocked Wannabe Poet by Writing a Fan. So, and this is how this goes. Oh, God damn it. This is wicked. Stop the twinkle, little star. Shut the F up, chirping cricket. You're no use to me so far. It's about since a half an hour that I'm lying on the ground, sniffling a weird smelling flower, and my thoughts keep spinning round. All the poets are admiring trees and leaves and movement, right? They say nature is inspiring. It doesn't work for me tonight. Every half-gifted writer uses nature as a key to make all their work seem brighter, but this key is stuck on me. Twain and Goethe painted pictures using words and drawing brush. as drawing brush, and unlock the interdictions which stop feelings from the rush. How to capture love in letters, how to sow joy and let grow, how to write something that matters. That's what I would like to know. But instead of agonizing, I should meditate and see, maybe just for exercising, which emotions are in me. But not any tiny little. Then emotion comes to sight. Just some memoirs, dry and brittle. Guess I've wrapped them all too tight. End of poem.
Nice read, Gene. Thank you very much. And Gray, what do you think?
I thought it was great. Um, you know, like I can relate to the nature being a platform for poets to express their voices. Um, but this had me this had me correct cracking up. Stop the twinkle, little star. Shut the fuck up, chirping cricket. You're no muse to me so far. I mean, you know, um, I don't know. Maybe a gutter works better, or a dark alley, I guess, in the city. But each has their own environment that speaks to them. So, like I say, to each their own. I love nature personally, but that's okay. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Nice, Gray. All right, Genie, you got to ramble off the usual words. Oh, wow.
I skipped
You
over
walked
one.
over the line again, Genie.
I skipped over to one. I was a good girl. Yep. My grade made up for it. He made sure he read it, since I did not. That's okay. We got it covered. Yeah, I thought this was a clever piece, Pen. Nice stanzas throughout. And I picked it up. Let me see. Where did I pick it up? I picked it up right there. Twain and Ghost painted pictures, using words as drawing brush, and unlock the interdictions which stop feelings from to rush. How to capture love in letters, how to sow joy and let grow, how to write something that matters. That's what I would like to know. But instead of agonizing, I should meditate and see, maybe just for exercising with which emotions are in me. But not any tiny little thin emotion comes to sight, just some memoirs dry and brittle. Yes, I've wrapped them all too tight. I thought it was a great ending to that. Sometimes it is hard to get those emotions out if you keep them all locked up inside you. So well done, and thank you for sharing.
Nice. I too like that opening stanza that Gray hit on. There is a wry sense of humor as well as a little touch of darkness, but it's pointing to the note that not everybody walks that note because he hits on it. Where was it? Every halfway gifted writer uses nature as a key to make all the work seem brighter, but this key is stuck on me. That note of maybe the darkness, and you know what? Not everybody can walk that line, or do they want to? And it all still comes down to what comes in the moment. Even if you decide, well, I'm going to walk this way, it doesn't always go that way. It's a matter of because he also hits on that note of what was uh, it's about since half an hour that I'm lying on the ground, sniffing a weird smelling flower, and my thoughts keep spinning round. That idea. All right, I'm gonna give it a try, but still, that's not what comes because the mind doesn't work that way. It relies on what's going on, and that thought of on the back end where he hits on the thought maybe I've wrapped my emotions too tight. Well, this kind of walks on that notion of emotion because you can write up top the blocked wannabe poet. And why pick on me to the fact that you're going to block me? Why? Because I write in a particular nature and junction, and you don't like it. Hey, move on. You don't have to block me for that. So the idea of having no emotion, he does draw on emotion in this. He does it in a way that uh, walks a different tone to what others may. And you know what? If you don't like it, that's fine. Leave it be. I'm going to write as I see fit because that is me. Not everyone walks the same narrow trail that you wish to configure. Thank you, writing. All right, Jen Janey, we're back on you.
Okey-dokey. Oh, Pringles. Butter caramel flavor. They're in the room. They're in the room. Oh, okay. Well, Gray, I'm
They're
going to
called
go
sweet and
ahead.
salty butter caramel Pringles. I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
God, I want
that's another
those.
one of those
yeah.
weird ones from down under. It
That would
seems they
be
get
Yeah, I
all the
want
good stuff,
some.
and we don't get to try nothing.
I'm telling you,
I
they
know
could.
that in the Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
he did.
telling
Aaron did mention something about a teriyaki Pringle last year.
you. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I think they'd be good with chocolate dip. I'm telling you. That would be like over the top, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, you'd have to make sure it was done with sea salt.
I think they do sell them in chocolate covered Pringles.
Oh, do they? Oh, I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Chocolate covered potato chips are pretty good. They're pretty good. Ah, okay. I don't know whose turn it is. It's probably my turn, but I'm coming to you, Gray. Actually, I didn't say
Alrighty,
it, so I know I'm off the hook. But this is called Surviving the Heart by Glory Paul.
all right. Just sitting there all day yawning, scratching your mustache with a roaring tummy, and say, "Life is hard. So what do you expect?" Someone is out there, bending his back, building with a sweat bathing all over his body, with active mindset, reading and signing contracts for business, with speed of success in entrepreneurship, with skills to diagnose and treat, with great knowledge to teach, doing everything in their power to earn a single cent a day. Did you do any of those? So, my friend, yes, life is hard, but how do we survive it? You don't need to work in an office or run a big business. Just anything legal that can count a coin in your pocket only by working hard, because in this life you reap what you sow. End poem.
Great read there, Gray. Thank you very much. All right, Genie, bring it on down.
Yeah. Well, I took this from a good piece. It says, "We succeed according to our efforts." You know, and there's a lot of truth there, isn't there? And I guess I'm going to go right to that end stanza. So, my friend, yes, life is hard, but how do we survive? You don't need to work in an office or run a big business. Just anything legal that can count a coin in your pocket. Only by working hard, because in this life, you reap what you sow. Behold. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the whole thought to the poem, you know. But well done, well done. So thank you again for sharing with us, Glory Paul, and yeah, nice job.
Nice. Thank you, Gene. Gray, you got to read it. How about you?
You know, I don't know what I saw a hungry baby bird in the nest waiting for mom to come and feed it, because they're always just like opening their mouths, looking for food, and that's kind of what I got out of the character, just sitting there all day yawning, scratching his balls, and you know bitching about how he has nothing because he does nothing. So get off your ass, get up, go get it. That's what the world is. It's like you're not born just to flop around on the shoreline. You're born to swim. So get out there and swim. You reap what you sow, I think I read in the comments. But, you don't get nothing by doing nothing. So um, I thought it was great. I liked it.
And
That's
Greg,
another
Kicking the
great
ass.
comment there, Gray.
Greg,
Yes, I'll
wait,
agree
wait,
with you on
Greg.
that. There is that note of uh, people being so entitled they think that everything should be handed to them on a silver platter without the knowledge or the gumption to actually get their fingers dirty or do anything of any kind of work that means they have to actually get off their asses, so to speak. Uh, there is a solvency in actually working hard. That note of, you know what, you do a job, you get paid for it, you do it well, you get promoted, you get paid more. There is that note of working hard for what you what you want, and the delivery on that purchase is a sense of self rather than, hey, you know what, bugger it, somebody else would do it for me. So thank you. What was that story? Yes, Glory Paul. I'm sorry. Thank you
Yes.
very much. All right, Janie,
And
we're back
Greg,
on
just
you.
for the record, it was his mustache he was scratching at. Just
Well,
to let you know.
that's just another hairy edifice.
I'm just saying. It's a much different size word and everything. So I
Ah,
God,
Well,
bad,
my
bad,
mind
bad.
plays tricks on me.
yeah, he was just sniffing below the line.
Your mind plays tricks on all of us. Just saying. Okay.
Hey, we got to keep you on your toes. Grace helping out quite handily tonight.
My toes hurt, man. My toes hurt. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my
Well,
God.
tell you
Yes,
what,
that is.
I'm not
Double
again.
dips on the funny. Thank you,
Yes,
Gray. Yeah, having a
yes,
good one too.
see?
Yeah,
Okay.
I figured it'd be fun tonight.
You're on a roll, I'm telling you. I can whoop your butt later.
If you hadn't gone there, I probably would have.
Oh God, that gets scary.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real, just keeping it real.
I'm outnumbered. Outnumbered. I thought you were here to help me out, Bray.
He is.
Oh yeah,
I
okay.
am. I'm giving you laughter and shock all in the same go. I mean, I am cinematic.
Well, no,
You don't need a movie tonight. You've got me. Wah wah wah.
Yeah, see, I don't have to hold all the funnies.
and
We
because
get
I
company
have you,
helping us
I
do
have
that.
whiplash. Rex, I'm
Poor
coming to
Phil.
you. Rex, I'm coming to you for this next one. It's called Beyond the
Of course you
Fountain.
is.
Beyond by Fountain Pen. And whenever you're ready.
Beyond by Fountain Pen. Her intuitive hands cup fine flour and sheer sugar into a fountain glistening under gold, diffusing threads. Her senses trace the velvety butter softening over a patient heat. Then her kneading begins, inviting water into the archaic well, her thoughts sinking the ticking of the clock overhead with a serene, precise pulse. Her heartbeat, meditative and perceptive, guiding towards a shape she knows is inevitable, the very image of her intent, a miniature monument standing proud over the kitchen workshop, refuting the clinical label of both perfection and imperfection. And poem. Well, there you go, Gray. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm all about homemade bread, and this really brought that to my mind and my stomach. Um, but there's such a transcendent energy that comes from having your hand kneading dough and listening to the tick tock of the clock. You can stand proud over the kitchen worktop. Happy with what you've done, um, and just being you without the labels. So I thought it was wonderful.
Nice. Thank you, Gray. Gingini.
Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yes, I thought this was beautiful, right? Anyone who's ever made bread knows that, that whole kneading process, you can kind of get lost in it for a while. You it's just it's almost meditative. I'll give it that, and I think that this was just really well written. It wasn't I don't know. I picked the first and second stanzas. Her intuitive hands cup fine flour and sheer sugar into a fountain glistening under gold, diffusing threads. Her senses trace the velvety butter softening over a patient heat. Then her kneading begins, inviting water into the archaic well. Her thoughts sinking the ticking of the clock overhead with a serene, precise pulse. It's very well done. It's not. I love her use of words in it. That's what I'm going to say. Just a nice piece. So thank you, Fountain Pen. Thank you so much for putting it up on the board tonight. Much appreciated. Great job.
Nice. Yeah, I too like the bitedness of making bread. It is meditative and that perceptive note. And I like those last two lines, refuting the clinical label of both perfection and imperfection. Because yes, sometimes you might get that perfect shape, but then the imperfection lies. Well, I didn't quite let it rise enough to the point where you've got that perfect note of bread inside. Then you get the other angle of that of the shape didn't come out right, but the bread was perfect inside. So, and it also hits on the idea of no matter how much you endeavor, uh, perfection is something that is never a reality. Why? Because things happen in the moment that you cannot predict. Maybe a touch too much salt, maybe uh, kneading it too much, and then it becomes too stiff. So you might want to look to that idea of perfection, but if you follow the right role that you're rolling it, making in the moment, then it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as you enjoy the end product itself.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
So thank you, Fountain.
Mhm. 2 seconds, because I'm slow. I'm
Oh, I can't
slow.
help that. You got buttons.
I know, and I'm trying to get to them, but they're all in different places.
Hey, here you go. Aaron says, Gray did help Gene out. He took a bite out of me.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, see, we got
Oh,
comments from the peanut gallery as well as the show, so we're rolling on good notes.
that's right. We just never know what's happening around us. Oh my God. At least I never do anyway. Okay. So that's here. Go over
All right.
here. And the
Good
last
night,
piece I have.
Gray.
Is Gray leaving?
Yeah,
Good night, Gray. It's good that you said something because I was over here doing something else.
yeah, he delivered all his funny quips.
Oh, see, he come in, caused a bunch of chaos, and then he left. What the hell? Okay.
He was the live version of Aaron tonight.
Oh my God, he was so funny. I tell you. He got out of here so I
Um,
could whoop his butt later. That's what it was. Okay, this piece is called The Steeds of the Sur by Lawrence Montana. Good night, Gray. Oh my gosh. And I have an audio for that.
well, this one's going to strain your vocals.
I know, I know, I know. But here we go. I'm going to start right now.
We, the Athelhellas, striding forth unto the fields of the Lord of Sacre's Whist, whither the swords of the men of Douth bear the shields of Midgard in the mist. Behold the hues of the shuttles on the mouth of the underworld of the Drugger. Wince, the blazing breath of death, beset the doomed souls of the Hugger. The sackless shrews of Swat and Stebbins unleashed the great drowning woes. The wrathful wraith that had released the swift burn to their foe for foes. Awakened by the thrill of the smell of the thrash of Norsemen, the wrath reapers dreamt by the burns of their killed kinsmen. A roar of thunder overwhelmed the men standing amidst the deadly dust of pain. 1,000 druggers swept like a mad maelstrom of swift might and main. Pouring rain drenched the mouths of the Norsemen in shields from the lightning. As many folk had died, slayed, in the struggle of the spear and fighting. The sobbing screams and cringing cries were heard by the Valkyries of Orlais, who came along with the dissers for the fallen ones to take them away. As the sorrowful slaves were ride, and the stench of bursting blood wrought, to the hearse on to the hearth, where the bones were buried, and the grit of a sod. Beyond the Valgrim to the gold gates, to the Valhalla above the shade, Nither. The tales of the Norsemen live on, and the sundry spells of the lasting Sither. And such runes be written of aforetime, of the gods of Asgard, and Vanihum and Odin, Frigg, Hother, Thor, Balder, riding on the steeds of a Bifrost above the clouds high. For them, the tales of the Norsemen, the starmen did not wither with the older, fitter.
Great read, Frank. Thank you for the Sound Club. Very much appreciated. Gee, I didn't have to do this one. Yeah. All right, Gingini.
I thought that this was a great piece by Frank. He actually wrote this for one of my contests like 3 years ago, 3 years or so ago. I thought it was a fabulous write and a wonderful take on the prompt. It was just very well done. And Frank always kills me because sometimes I'm like, what does that mean? And by the time I'm done, I look and he's got this whole little thesaurus at the bottom of the poem going. And this means, I'm like, I could never bounce back and forth. But I think it was great. In my comment, I actually put the image that it was written for. But I picked it up here. A roar of thunder overwhelmed the men standing amidst the deadly dust of pain. 1,000 draugrs swept like a mad maelstrom of swift might and main. Pouring rain drenched the mails of the Norsemen and shields from the lightning, as manifold had died slate in the struggle for the spear-dim fighting. Their startling screams and cringing cries were heard by the Valkyries of Orlais, who came along with their desires, desires, for the fallen ones to take them away, as the sorrowful slades were bride in the stench of bursting blood wrought, till the hearse unto the half, where their bones were buried in the grist of a sot. So, I mean, great lines. I mean, just a wonderful piece. So, I think he really captured something here. So, well done, Frank, and thank you for sharing.
Yes, I agree with you because it doesn't hold the same thought and angle without the Old Norse language written in with it to offer up what is, because you're writing about something that's quite ancient. Lead off that note of, O ye the eighthful helots striding forth unto the fields of lore of Saga's whist, whither the swords of the men of Douth bear the shields of Midgard in the mist. Behold the hills of the shadows of the mouth of the underworld of the Valgar, whence the blazing breath of death beset the doomed souls of the Halgar. It wouldn't hold the same note of depth without the language itself. So, cheers, Frank.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was it. Rex, we cleared the board again.
Oh, and
And
right on time.
it's
Just
only
hit
12
midnight.
o'clock. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Wow. I guess we're not going to get our extra time in tonight, though, are we? Nope.
No, we're not going to get bounced either.
No. It's not going to hang up on us. No, we're good. But yeah, so it was a great show tonight. Thank you for co-hosting with me. Thank you, Greg, for calling in. Silly boy. As crazy as he is. And thank you guys for hanging on the board. Quicken, Jojo, Aaron, T. Manzano, Robbie. I think he's probably listening on YouTube. And who else? Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
Quicken was in there. Robbie, Jojo.
I'm missing somebody. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. I'm sorry. My memory is fading. I'm old, you know. I have to tell everybody that. I don't think they believe me sometimes, but trust me, I'm old. But it was a good show. Good show. Lots of good poetry, and hopefully we will get another good board for next week. But anyway, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, everybody. Remember, not 10. And hopefully we'll see you all there. And yeah, well done. Great show. Great show, Rex. Thank you. Thanks for reading all night.
Oh, not a problem.
I only had a couple girly pieces, so I didn't want to read the guys' pieces. I think they always sound better in your voice when it's the guys writing. I don't know. Silly me. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it's those ones where I got to shave my legs and put on stockings that don't fit the motif.
Yeah, there's something about. I don't like to do that to you. I don't think you look good in heels. Sorry, you need flats. But,
yeah, big feet don't fit in tiny shoes either.
I feel your pain. Just saying. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I'll see you all tomorrow, maybe. If not, I'll see you all Sunday. Sunday, the day after tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, Rex is looking for pieces for Sunday's show. So check them out. Check out all those prompts. Yes. It'll be fun. So good night, everybody. Y'all take care. I'm going to hit the
Good
button
night,
now.
gang.
Yes, I'm hitting that button now.
All right.
I'm going to hit the right button, too. Here we go.